व्याधिस्त्यान संशय प्रमाद आलस्य अविरति भ्रांति दर्शन अलब्ध भूमिकत्व नवस्ति तत्वानि चित्त विक्षेपास्तरायः. Namaste everyone, my name is Vasundhara Talware and welcome to the Yoga Sutra number 1.30. In our previous sutra, Maharishi Patanjali says that merely chanting the mantra Om can remove all the obstacles, all the antarayas of our life and allow us to progress on our spiritual path to attain liberation, ultimate freedom. But what are these antarayas? He speaks of those antarayas in this sutra. The very first antaraya is disease, vyadhi. If you have any ailment, it could be cough, cold, headache, backache, joint problem, any kind of disease, discomfort, you're not feeling right in your body, you will not be able to practice that day the way you otherwise do, diligently, with complete concentration, focus, and that intensity with which the practice has to be. That day you will not be able to. Or if you're ill for a longer period of time, you know how it is. If some viral fever happens, we're gone for 3-4 days at least. And those days, at least I am unable to sit straight and sit for an hour of my Vipassana meditation. It's difficult. It's difficult to move my body and do any kind of asanas. The only one I can do is lying on my back with my legs up the wall, and just relax, chill, breathe. I can do lying down pranayama, which is the diaphragmatic breathing. That's about it. That's barely about it. I can't even think what I want to do. I just want to lie, sleep. That's it. So disease is one of the biggest impediments in life. And it's said that Om chanting can remove diseases from our life. There are many other coaching tools that can do the same, which is cleansing of the mind, which is where all the mess is. If you clean that with self-coaching practices, which is the Svadhyay, which we will come upon later, that also helps keep the diseases away. After all, most diseases are psychosomatic. Start here. Then is when they penetrate in the body. The second antaraya is dhyana, which is mere laziness. Like, it's okay, I don't want to do it today, I'm just feeling lazy. I may as well swipe and look at something on the internet, scroll, Netflix. I'll do everything else but not this. It's complete laziness, sluggishness, and lack of interest. So this is the second antaraya. Both first and the second, disease and laziness, are to do with our body. The third antaraya is doubt, that is samshaya. When you doubt the path you are on, that again takes you back. If you are going further and if you doubt, why do I need to go there? What is going to happen? What's the purpose? I'm okay where I am. Look at the world. I need to do this, that, blah, blue, blee. And you lost. You lost the plot. So that is the third antaraya which takes you away from your higher goal. The fourth antaraya is pramada. Pramada means pride or carelessness. So for example, if you're practicing to get into a circus-like posture, which you can show off to the whole world, and in that you're bending your body, forcing yourselves to get into that, and waiting for a picture to be clicked and you're in pain, that causes an injury. There are so many people who've died trying to perform an asana stunt at risky places, over a ledge, over an edge, and over what not kind of places that have taken away lives. So this pramada, which is pride, that oh, I am so good, I need to show off to the whole world, and carelessness causes again retracting. So there are so many injuries people suffer and become bedridden. That yoga doesn't stay yoga, but it becomes backflips, cartwheels, and whatnot, and capturing those to be shared with the whole world, to tell them that you are awesome, you are the one. You end up injuring yourselves. And yoga is not about all of this. Yoga is about sitting still. Yoga is about tuning into the vibe of the universe and becoming one with it. And you can't be doing all of that cartwheeling and circus to achieve that. Hey, great, I want to learn cartwheels. It's not like I don't appreciate the ones who do. Oh my god, it's so amazing. But that is not yoga. And if you get into the whole rut of the whole race of wanting to show off, it becomes something else. It doesn't stay yoga. The fifth antaraya is alasya. Now, how is this different from the earlier sthana that we saw? Sthana is more to do with mental alasya, mental laziness. That why should I do it? It's okay. This is more important. No, I might as well pay attention to that. But laziness, which is alasya, the physical one, comes under this category, which is what takes you away from your goal. The sixth antaraya is avirati. Avirati means sense gratification, indulging too much in the senses and forgetting your path is someplace else. The seventh antaraya is Bhranti Darshana. Thinking that you've made it, like, oh my god, I am here. And then imagining things like, oh, in meditation, I can actually see some yellow light, gold light, white light, blue light, pink light, what light, and maybe a picture of a deity. Oh, then considering, oh, the deity came in my meditation, so I'm self-realized already, I don't need to do anything. The lights are shining in my meditation, so I don't need to do anything. I've reached, I'm like far above everybody else. So this pride is what comes forth again, another antaraya, because of this bhranti, this illusion that most of us fall prey for. And this is again something that takes you away from your goal. You stop working, you stop putting your intense hard work into it, your abhyas and vairagya, they completely cease because you think, hey, you made it. Some people have floating experiences, some people have some unique experiences, some magical, mystical experiences, and then they stop. So instead of these experiences telling them that, hey, you are on the right path because of which you are having these experiences, keep walking, you've not reached the goal. But in many cases, this becomes the antaraya. It becomes an impediment. It stops people from furthering their practices. They think that they've made it. The eighth antaraya is alabdha bhumikatva, which means not being able to hold on to the state one has reached. Many times it so happens that I have reached a certain level in my practice. I am in a flow. I quickly set into meditation as soon as I close my eyes. I am in the zone. And suddenly, some event happens in my life, which is not so nice. Then dvesha towards the event, which is hatred or dislike, to be more subtle and soft with the word, arises in me towards the event or maybe a person. And my zone, the level at which I am because of my everyday practices, falls flat again. It's like playing snakes and ladders. You keep walking, keep climbing, and then one little disturbance and you're back to zero. So it's very important to be able to hold the level at which you have reached. It's easy to fall and it takes humongous amounts of abhyas to climb back on that ladder. So keep the goal in mind, and if there are things that life throws at you, all the pumpkins and melons and lemons and whatnot, just know that it's all moha and maya. It's all desires and therefore pain, and it's impermanent, anicca, and keep walking on your paths. And the 9th one is anavasthi tatvani. Anavasthi, avastha, the state, inability to maintain that state. Very similar to the previous one, but this again because you have pride or you're just satisfied, content with where you are. The moment you are content, the moment you feel pride, again the snake takes you back down to where you began and your journey has to begin again from day 0. So that's how the world of yoga is. It's not an easy journey, but it requires a lot of everyday practice. Be it 15 minutes, be it 30 minutes, be it 1 hour, be it 2 hours, whatever it is, but it requires consistency, and it requires the bhava, the feeling with which you practice, not as a competition, not as something you need to prove to someone, but just your personal, intimate practice. So hope this sutra, which has 9 antarayas explained in it, and there's nothing more than this. It's either of these that pull us back from walking towards our end goal, the spiritual ultimate freedom wala goal in life. Hope you have loved watching this video, and if you have, please like, leave a comment and let me know how you liked it, and let me also know which antaraya are you facing in life currently. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe by clicking on the button right there and click the bell icon to be notified about all the amazing videos that I make from the bottom of my heart for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you very, very much. Mwah.